Well, the CAMs have a huge value for search engine optimization. First of all, the CAM is content. And what do we know is the most valuable thing about search engine optimization? It's all about the content. It's about the user experience. What does a CAM do, especially an HD CAM? Well, it's the most wonderful, brilliant possible content you can provide inside your website. It's entertaining, it's lively, it's beautiful, especially a beautiful river like the Animas River or the American River over in Coloma, California. These CAMs are exciting, and what they do for search engine optimization is a couple things. One, they help by syndicating this CAM into your website. Google sees that you're linking over to a website that's offering relevant rafting content, relevant adventure content. And when we syndicate this CAM, we put the page in your look and feel. The reader doesn't know they've left your website unless they look at the very top of your address. Now, if the reader gets done watching this, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they then click and come back to your website. Google has now just seen the single most important thing you can do to be able to increase your ranks in today's algorithms. They've seen that you've linked out to a relevant site, and they just saw the consumer come back. The user left your site, went somewhere valuable, went somewhere relevant. And what did the consumer do next? He clicked on your logo and link and came right back to your site. The user said, yeah, I left, and I came back. And that's what Google and Bing and Yahoo want to see. Remember, it's not just about getting the visitor. What this is really about is what we do with the visitor. We have to accomplish something every time that visitor is in our website. We have to be valuable for the community. We have to be valuable to the reader. Bad websites that are going to hit the wayside are not valuable to the visitor and not valuable to the community. The great websites link out to other relevant sites and they get the visitor to come back. And that's why the CAM really excites me, and that's why we had great success with our client over on the American River, because we've been able to get people to leave his website and get him to come back. We've been able to now get him up from the rank 7 position under Rafting California now to the rank 1, from the rank 6 position under California Rafting now to the rank 2. We've been able to do this in 3 months. Big reason we've been able to do it is because the CAM, and we did it without touching his website. Well, first of all, it's the content. Okay, so if I'm taking over someone's website tomorrow, I want to come up with a power plan where I can say, how can we put useful, valuable content that the reader wants and the reader will enjoy? Now, let's not forget, a website has to sell your service and product. So we have to convert sales. That's important. We have to be valuable for the reader. So it's all about the content. Be useful for the visitor. Do not get involved in anything illegitimate or black hat. Do not get involved in anything that you're not proud of. I had a woman just talk to me a little while ago, and she said, well, one of my ways I like to show that I update my website, I just go change photos every so often. Well, don't think you can fool Google. You can't fool Google, and Google's not going to be manipulated. They're not going to be manipulated by bogus concepts like that. That will not work. So if we want to be successful in the engines, it's about the content, stupid. It's all about the content. If the content's good, we have a chance to be good for the user. If we are good for the user, we're going to be good for the community. If we're good for the community, we have a chance to be profitable and successful on Google.
I can't think of anything else.
Okay, so we're going to ask me some other questions. I want to have you say, Robert, you gave a speech today, and you blew me away. You were telling people about, you want people to leave their websites. Tell me more about this. This seems pretty, phrase it like this, say, something that really intrigued me today, Robert, was in your speech. You said, you want people to come into your website and you want them to leave your website. I've never heard this. Can you explain this a little more? Yeah, and we do. We do want to keep people in our website. We do want, the longer we can keep people in our website, the total time, the better we are. That's going to get us more votes. That's going to get us more credit to Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So yes, the longer we keep people on the website, the better it is for us. Google knows that when they come into your rafting site, your adventure site, they know they're not just coming in your website and never going anywhere else. You don't do that. I don't do that. We come into rafting sites. We come into adventure sites. We go into hotel sites. We book. We leave. We go back somewhere else. Google loves it when you link out and send visitors out to other relevant sites that are credible and well done. And Google gives you voice and tremendous points when they leave your website and then come back. Think about the logic behind this. We can all draw some people to our website. Those who are the best draw more people. Google wants to see a website that's good for the community, that's good for everybody. Those sites that are proprietary, that try to keep everybody in their site and never linking out, Google's going to dock you. They will penalize that. Those of us who are sending people out of our site, who have such good content, such a good site, that we can link out, send them out, and then get them to return later in that user session or on a future day. Google's giving you tremendous points for that. If there is something I could do right now that I could help your website, and assuming you have a pretty decent website, you're in the middle of the pack, if there's one thing I could do to go and give you a boost, an immediate boost, I want to create a mechanism where I have content physically on someone else's website that's a credible site, where I'm linking out to them and I can get them to link back. If I can accomplish that, I can drive terrific profit your way, and we can have a very solid search engine marketing strategy. Yeah, well, we wanted to come up with a really wholesome power content strategy. It all comes down to the content. Simply doing anything illegitimate or black hat is going to backfire. Backfires for a lot of people, and backfire for some of his competitors. I said to him, I said, Nate, what we want to do is improve the performance of your website, and we want to go out and become more valuable to the user and the community. So we proposed something that had never been done before. I said to Nate, I go, you have a spot right on the American River, right on Troublemaker. And Troublemaker's incredible. It's one of the most beautiful rivers, action-packed whitewater rafting rivers in the United States and even all over the world. Top 2 most potent river in the United States. So I said to him, I go, let's put up a live streaming user-controlled TV cam. So we hatched a strategy where we put this cam in HD right there on the river. And we set this cam up so the user could control it. And they could zoom up and down the river. Look at the beautiful people. Watch people flipping their rafts. That's action. And people get off on that. They like that. They return to it. So we created this cam. And I said to him, I go, first and foremost, this is good for your visitor. This is going to help you close sales. This is your product. This is what you're selling. It's a beautiful product. It's an incredible product. It's action. The cam brings action. So our strategy was first and foremost to increase sales. But what it also did, it increased our search engine marketing. So the approach we laid out was very simple. We said, we're going to syndicate this cam in a media portal site called the Rafting California Alliance at raftingcalifornia.org. And we're going to syndicate your look and feel of your website into our site. We're going to put that cam right in there. And we're going to place a big old button inside raftcalifornia.com, the Adventure California site. He links over. That page links back. Google sees people leaving his site to go to this valuable piece of content called the cam. And visitors go on there, spend 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. They then take pictures, Facebook it, Twitter it. They social network it. They then come right back to his site. Google sees this experience, and then Google sees people returning the very next day, the very next week, the very next month. Google tracks this. Google can see this. They see people coming into the site, leaving, coming back. That's the pattern they want to see, because they say that must be a valuable site. A second plan of action that we put together, this was just really exciting. I think some of the best marketing we've ever done. We took this valuable content and then we syndicated it into the Coloma Chamber of Commerce, right there at coloma.com. Small, beautiful gold rush town right there on the river. So our strategy was real simple. Let's give them a syndicated feed right there so they can put a button on their website showing the cam. What does this do? People click on that cam, they go right to raftingcalifornia.org, and there it is. Nate Rangel, Adventure Connection, his ad, his link, his 800 number, physically on the cam. Presto. This is exciting. And I remember the first time we saw this, I went and said, yes, yes. We actually got into a chamber site. We got into a valuable site. We got them linking over to us. Google sees the link from the Coloma Chamber, a credible impact site, a tourism site, linking over to our Rafting Media Portal site, they see our client, Nate Rangel, Adventure Connection, Raft California. They see the link now going back to him. They saw what we call a triangle. It's called second-hand linkage, Google values second and tertiary linkage strategies. So while it sounds a little complex, what did we do? We did something good for the user. We did something good for the reader. A third strategy that we're deploying now is we're now going to syndicate this camp in other Coloma and local websites. So if you have a restaurant, a TV station, we're going to now offer these feeds to these TV stations in Sacramento, near El Dorado, in San Francisco, and we're going to let users watch live rafting. Well, this is good for our client. And the client likes this. That's more advertising for him. Remember, some of the greatest advertising I think you can do is not going out just paying for links, not just paying for ads. It's creating a content mechanism that you can syndicate and infiltrate into someone else's website. Every time you do that, you are now taking advantage of all their marketing and advertising and goodwill. And that's what we've done for Nate, and this has been very powerful. We're going to achieve top ranks in Google. More importantly, we're going to increase the sales. You probably, genuine is the best word you can use. Legitimate. What is good for you and I? Remember, Google doesn't come up with 3,000 arbitrary rules about what they think is the best site. No, they don't make these decisions. Everybody thinks they do. No, they don't. How are they ranking a website? They're ranking it based on what you and I do. You and I are making that decision. The community makes the decision on your website. So they're looking for how the user finds your website. They're looking at the time of day. They're looking at how long they stay on your website. They're looking at what times they're using it. They're looking at the overall user experience. And this is really important. So if we understand that, we're going to build, we're not going to do black hat techniques. We're not going to go do manipulation. We're not going to go just change keywords to change keywords, just to fool Google that we updated the site. No, it's about being legitimate. It's about being genuine. It's about the community. It's about the user. If we do those 4 principles, we can be successful on the internet. We can be successful long term. And I think the other thing we can avoid happening to us is being ripped off by charlatans and SEO geniuses who are selling us really a bag of junk. They're selling us snake oil.
Looking to increase your ranks? Go to worldrafting.com/SEO or email Robert at media@rockiesmedia.com.